We live in a world that is just constantly fighting for our attention. But what if the secret to actually getting ahead, to really thriving, isn't about doing more, but about focusing more deeply? Today, we're mashing up two incredible books, Cal Newport's Deep Work and James Clear's Atomic Habits, to give you a real practical guide to mastering your focus and basically designing your life.
Think about it. We are all obsessed with productivity hacks, with cramming just one more thing into our day. But what if that whole do more hustle is actually the problem? What if the real game changer isn't about managing our time, but about mastering our attention?
So let's just call it what it is. It feels like a war for our attention because, well, it is one. Every single notification, every ping, every little red dot on your social media apps, they're all tiny soldiers fighting for a slice of your focus. And honestly, if we're not careful, we can lose that battle without even realizing we were in a fight to begin with.
Okay, so to even stand a chance in this war, you've got to know the two different kinds of work. Cal Newport breaks it down perfectly into deep work and shallow work. Deep work, that's the good stuff. That's the focused, distraction-free concentration that creates real breakthroughs. Shallow work, on the other hand, is all the busy work. The endless emails, the pointless meetings, it makes you feel productive, but it's the kind of work that just keeps you busy, not the kind that moves the needle.
So, if deep work is the secret sauce, why is it so incredibly rare? Well, the uncomfortable truth is that our modern workplaces are almost perfectly designed to prevent it. You've got open office plans, that culture of instant messaging where everyone expects a reply in 2 seconds, the pressure to have a social media presence. It all leads to this idea that being busy is the same as being productive. It's not.
But here's the good news, and it's really good news. In a world that's drowning in distraction, the ability to actually focus, well, that's a superpower. And in an economy where more and more things are being automated, it's the one skill that can't be easily replaced.
And this quote from Cal Newport really just hits the nail on the head. We have this obsession with new technology, assuming every new app is a step forward. But the slow, careful, deliberate focus that you need for deep work, it's the exact opposite of the fast-paced, always-on, notification-driven culture that so much of modern tech promotes.
So here's the bottom line, right? If you want to thrive in the modern economy, you need 2 core abilities. You need to be able to learn complicated things fast, and you need to be able to produce high-quality work. And guess what? You can't do either of those things if your attention is shattered into a million pieces. Deep work is the engine that drives both.
So we're all on board. We need deep work. But how? How do you actually do it? I think most of us believe the answer is just to grit our teeth and try harder, to have more willpower. But what if that's completely backwards?
And this is where the genius of Atomic Habits comes into play. The real secret to focus isn't about having superhuman willpower. It's about being an architect of your environment, designing it so that you don't even need to use willpower in the first place.
Okay, the big idea here is something called choice architecture. It's basically the art of designing your surroundings to make the right choices the easiest choices. Think about it. Supermarkets put candy right at eye level at the checkout. That's choice architecture being used against you. But guess what? You can flip the script and make it work for you.
All right, check out this brilliant real-world example. A hospital wanted to nudge people towards healthier eating habits, but they tried something kind of radical. They decided they were going to do it without talking to a single person. No lectures, no posters, nothing.
So what they do? It was so simple, it's brilliant. They just changed the environment. They added bottled water to all the fridges that used to only have soda, and they put baskets of water right next to the food stations. The result? Get this, soda sales, boom, down over 11%, and water sales, they shot up by almost 26%, all without a single word.
And that, right there, is the huge secret. The people who seem the most disciplined, they're not heroes. They're not battling temptation every second. They're just smarter about structuring their lives so they almost never have to use willpower. They don't fight temptation, they design it out of their lives.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we become the choice architects of our own focus? How do we rig the game so that concentration is the easiest, most obvious choice we can make?
Rule number 1, make the good stuff obvious. Make it so obvious you can't miss it. You want to eat healthier? Don't hide the apples in the bottom drawer of your fridge. Put a big fruit bowl right on the counter. And that fly sticker in the airport urinal? Genius! It's a tiny visual cue that reduced spillage by 80%. Obvious cues trigger automatic behavior.
Another great trick is to prime your environment.
Basically, you're setting up your future self for success. If you lay out your gym clothes the night before, the friction to actually working out in the morning is so much lower. If you want to write, leave your notebook open on your desk. It's all about making it just a little bit easier to get started.
And here's another powerful one. Give every habit a home. You know that feeling when your brain is just fuzzy? That's what happens when one space means too many things. If your couch is for work and eating and watching TV, your brain gets confused. But if you have one chair that is only for reading, the moment you sit in it, your brain knows exactly what to do. It automatically switches into reading mode.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. A fruit bowl? Laying out my clothes? A reading chair? This all sounds kind of small. But this is the final crucial piece of the puzzle. Understanding how these tiny atomic habits lead to giant leaps over time.
This quote from Jacob Riis just says it all perfectly. We get so discouraged when we put in the work and don't see immediate results. But just like that stonecutter, every single small action is building pressure. It's not the final hit that breaks the rock. It's all the hundreds of hits that came before it that looked like they did nothing.
Let me give you one more way to think about this. It's a great metaphor. Imagine an ice cube sitting on a table in a really cold room. Let's say it's 25 degrees Fahrenheit.
Now, the room starts to warm up, just a little. 26 degrees, 27, 28. But you're looking at the ice cube and nothing. It's still just a solid block of ice. And this is where most of us give up, right? This is the frustrating part, where it feels like all our effort is for nothing.
And then the room hits 32 degrees, and suddenly the ice begins to melt. The breakthrough. But here's the thing, it wasn't that 1 degree jump that did it. It was all the degrees that came before. Your efforts were never wasted. They were just being stored, building up until that breakthrough moment.
So that's really the big idea here. Stop trying to be a willpower superhero. It's exhausting. Instead, become a brilliant architect. Build a system for yourself where tiny, smart choices are easy, and watch as they compound over time into truly remarkable results.
So I'm going to leave you with a challenge, a really simple one. Right now, look around you. What is the one tiny, obvious change you can make to your environment today to make your next deep work session just a little bit easier? Because that's where real change starts. Not with some heroic leap, but with one single smart step.